It's over. Time to say it again, Boston. Anything's possible. Banner number 18 has been secured. Throwing in the corner. Brown fakes, fires up the three. Bang! Bang! Missed free throw. Horford the rebound. Here's Pritchard. He loves these. Puts it up half court of the buzzer. Bang!
Tatum. Oh, what a fake. Tatum. You bet.
It's a 40-point blowout as the Celtics win in dominant fashion, 125-85. Hello and welcome into your Celtics source, home of your 30-13 second place Boston Celtics. Man, it always seems like the Celtics play decently against the teams that they respect and then just lose in heartbreaking fashion against the lesser teams like the Raptors and the Hawks, which the Celtics lost miserably to last week. The Warriors were definitely depleted without Draymond Green, Andrew Wiggins, and when Curry went out for that first time in the first quarter, the Celtics sort of stormed away and never looked back. And until Curry leaves, the Warriors will always be respected by the Celtics, right? They did beat the Celtics earlier in the season. For the last couple of years, it seems like the Celtics have one game where they just lose to the Warriors in a close-fought match, and then the other game, the second one, is always a blowout. If we remember the 50-point blowout that we had against the Warriors last season. Anyway, the Warriors, I think they've hit an end of an era. As Curry's been talking about it in his post-game comments recently, that they got to stop trying to trade away their assets and try and win this year and look to the future, because they don't have a chance. They already traded for Schroeder and he hasn't made a difference. The Warriors are struggling to score, to shoot the ball, sort of like the Celtics are going through, but it's been much worse. Buddy Hield, probably their best three-point shooter besides Curry, he started off the season 40%, and now he's down to 29 or something like that. So that's a big problem. And it didn't help tonight that the Celtics finally had a decent shooting percentage. 20 for 48 from three, right? A respectable number that we got to be able to. We don't have to shoot 40% every night, but we can't be shooting 29%, which is what it's been over the last, I would say, 14 games, something like that. And that's really been the problem with the Celtics. The offense hasn't changed much. They're still getting open looks. They're still generating corner shots, top of the key shots, getting into the paint. The only problem is they just haven't been able to knock them down, right? Celtics have been missing bunnies, they've been missing layups lately, and that doesn't help when you cannot get anything to fall, right? And Derrick White finally had a good game. I wouldn't say a good game, and a solid game. He only took 5 shots, knocking down 3 for a total of 8 points. And he still looks a little disjointed on the offensive end. But he was definitely cooking on the defensive end. I think he had 3 blocks, a steal, getting his hands on passes, making deflections, finding his teammates. He did a much better job of when things weren't going his way on the offensive end, swinging the ball to his teammates to find an open shot, which he's been struggling to do lately. There's been a lot of turnovers from him. The entire team actually did a good job of getting their hands on passes, making deflections. And Joe Mazzulla's put an emphasis on this recently, that they need to be playing more like, and they have the personnel to do it, but more like the OKC Thunder getting steals, deflections, instead of just trying to wait out the shot clock, because teams are still getting up decent looks. Right? Jaylen Brown had a fantastic defensive game, holding Steph Curry to just 18 points total on 6 of 16 shooting. Jaylen Brown apparently called, or Joe Mazzulla asked Brown if he wanted this matchup, and he said yes. And he's done this for almost every game, guarding the best player on the opposite team. And I think it sort of hurt Brown because he's not getting the same offensive production that JT is getting. He's sort of having to sort of find his shots here and there, and things aren't going his way. And he's putting a lot of effort in the defensive end, and then his offensive game isn't as good. And I don't think there's like a conflict between JT and JB who gets to score. But you notice they don't ever do like two-man games for each other. Maybe they should try that. Like Brown or Tatum set a screen for one another. That could work. I mean, although it does put an equally good defender on one of them because they're both usually guarded by the best two defenders on the court. Although Brown's often guarded by a bigger man because Brown has the physicality that he can bully his way to the paint, which frankly he should be doing more of. Anyway, Derrick White, Jaylen Brown, they help fuel their 43 to 24 point third quarter, and that's when they sort of pulled away. Right, the starters, Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum, sat the entire fourth quarter, and Derrick White, Jrue Holiday, KP sat, I think, after just 2 minutes into the game. And I mean that's good for rest, but it might not be a good thing for this team with the way their chemistry has been lacking lately. They need those reps. So, although it's always great to get a blowout, and we do have 2 back-to-backs coming up, which I'm sure they'll get lots of playing time. Those are not going to be blowouts, I wouldn't think. Just because it looks like both teams will have their entire roster ready to play. Jayson Tatum had a fantastic game. 22 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists in just the 28 minutes that he played. Joe Mazzulla's been mixing it up every other game with who gets to play which quarter. I personally would rather have Jayson Tatum playing the entire fourth quarter when it's not a blowout like this, just because I think he's a better closer than Jaylen Brown is. I don't know why Joe Mazzulla doesn't just play both players in both quarters. Like sub them out every quarter, play each play like 8 to 9 minutes a quarter, something like that. But KP was good in this game. This was a good game for KP because the Warriors went small for most of the game, and that made it easy to feed KP in the post when necessary, but not overuse it. Because like when the Celtics sort of overuse it and force that sort of high post, things have been going wrong for the Celtics because refs are often not calling things. There's been a effort to let guys play, stop calling as many of those sort of ticky-tacky fouls. And then the last player I want to point out before I wrap this up is Peyton Pritchard, who seems to be fully back to the way he started the season. He had a steal in the first half where he took it for a transition layup, but while running, he slowed down and tried to bait a defender that was twice his size into a foul. The fact that he even thinks that he can do that for a guy that's at least 5 inches taller than him is crazy, but somehow he does it every night. The bench unit got they got to play almost the entire fourth quarter. We saw some good play from Bill Shireman knocking down his first shot of the season, or three, I believe. Jordan Walsh, 2 for 3. It would be nice if Jordan Walsh got just a couple more minutes in every game, a sort of consistent rotation, even if it's only 5 minutes a game. Sam Hauser's been struggling a lot lately. He did do well today, I think 3 of 6 from 3. But maybe if Sam Hauser's not having that night, maybe sub it in for Jordan Walsh instead of trying to overuse Tatum and Brown. Because maybe it'll give Sam Hauser something to fight for to get back. Because we're going to need him. I don't think Jordan Walsh is quite ready to play in the playoffs. And we're going to need Sam Hauser's Klay Thompson shooting. Anyway, that's going to do it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Follow on social media so you don't miss out on news, scores, highlights all season long. And until next time, go Celtics.
Folks, this looks like it's going to be a layup. Watch Derrick White sprint and tell Jimmy Butler, not happening here. Are you kidding me? That's ridiculous.